What's going on, guys? It's the One Round Ryko, and today we are here with the Lightning Collection Lunar Wolf Wild Forest Ranger, one that I've been waiting for a while. He has been released for a while, but this guy has a story behind him and why I waited so long to get him, and even now, even though I waited so long to make sure I got the right one, there's still an issue I have to talk about. That's not his holster, and thankfully it's not on the figure itself. But I will get into that in just a moment. But I have to say, this is one of my most anticipated Lightning Collection figures, period. Just figure, period. Wild Force is probably my absolute favorite Power Ranger series. I grew up with it. I went on a binge. I've mentioned it in previous videos. You've probably seen them if you watch some of my older videos from the old house. I have nearly every single Wild Force figure, or Megazord rather, minus the giant lion and the, what is his name? The red ape with the what's it called? The soul bird arm cannon thing. I don't have those ones. I have all the main ones that have actually appeared in the series. I have all of those. Only in the English version, of course, in the actual Power Ranger version. I don't have all the Super Sentai ones like that. I know there's a gray, or there's a black elephant, this, that one, that goes with the Gao Knight, the red ape, red gorilla, I guess, rather. I don't have those yet, but for the main, like, core ones, I have all of them. They're all still wrapped up right now. I haven't had a chance to put them all out, but because I now finally have a Wild Force figure of my own, I almost bought, like, the Shoto ones, but I held off. I still can for a decent price, so I might do that, maybe eventually. But here, the best suit of the series, I absolute best suit of the series. I love it so much. He's proper. He's got the silver boots. He's got the 6 stripes like he should. Unlike the initial release of him, even though they all kind of came out around the same time, minus the Power Pop Art variant. Which this is what this one. This is the Walmart exclusive Power Pop Up box variant. Say that 5 times fast. Oh, I need a drink. Water. It's good for you. Anyway, yes, so this is, and also this is the first Wild Force figure. We have Wild Force Blue coming in the wave after this one, which I'm excited for him as well. And as well, we have the Red Ranger, who is supposed to be paired with some sort of vehicle, maybe like the Wild Force Rider or his Savage Cycle. Which one, we don't know. We just know it was leaked that he is coming with some sort of vehicle, and that's all we know about that at the moment. Otherwise, here we are with the main event. Merrick himself, the Lunar Wolf Ranger. And I'll show off the box before I get to him. You can see here the Power Pop Art variant. Wild Force Lunar Wolf Ranger. Nice Tom Whalen artwork. I like with the fancy, where I know it says something, but I don't know what. I think it just says like Power Pop Art or something. At least I've heard other people say. Now the issue with my box is that it's the only one I found in the store, and the top was just cracked. Nothing's wrong with the figure that I've seen. It's not missing any parts. He's in good shape. Everything works on him. He's not broken in the slightest as far as I can tell. But my box was cracked. And for, oh god, look at him giving me a mega forehead. Hello. But it's kind of annoying for a collector box. So if I can find another one, I probably will get it. Just to have a non-screwed up box variant, even though I don't keep them in the box. But that is kind of annoying, and it does bother me, so I might get another one. And also, like I said, he's one of my favorites, period, so I wouldn't be against having multiple. Like, I have three of the Predazords. I have 2 Blue Moon Predazords, and then a regular traditional mode Predazord. So, I wouldn't mind having multiple to pair with each, but we still need a Lightning Collection Zenaku to put with the evil Predazord, but who knows when we're getting that. Hopefully in a 2-pack that gives him his holster. But anyway, for the figure himself, you got kind of have him in a grabbing pose. Thankfully, he comes, even though he doesn't have a holster, he comes with his pull Q weapon, the Lunar Q, in gun form and sword form, which is nice. You get both of them. And also his alternate set of hands are the claw hands that the show is known for, because they have claws and stuff, and they smack the ground and dust flies up and they go, yeah! It's goofy, but I love it. It's a nice inclusion. I wish the tips were silver so you could like really see them. It almost looks like it's just a grabbing hand, but if you look closer you can see the claws on there. Kind of wish they had colored them, but it's a Lightning Collection. You don't get so much. Also, you get this nice little effect piece that just clips right to the tip of whichever one you want. So like you can have like a blasting effect or like a hit effect if you put it on the sword. It's neat. It's cool. And then the only other accessory he comes with in the box is, of course, the Merrick Head. This actually looks pretty decent. There's definitely been worse. I think his lips are a little too pursed. Maybe he's going, But overall, the eyes aren't really cross-eyed. If you want to keep him in this look, I think it's very faithful and accurate and doesn't look terrible. Doesn't look bad at all. There's been worse, probably been better, but I'm not upset with it. He does have pins. He's not pinless, but I don't care really. I do, but when it comes to this figure looking great overall anyway, I could care less. I really could. The pearlescent silver, thankfully, like I said, I waited until I got the one with the silver boots. I wasn't going to do the whole, white boots and whatever and everything's wrong. No, I waited. Thankfully, Hasbro corrected that kind of quickly with all that whole shenanigans that was going on with this. But if you know Lightning Collection, there's issues. And if you know Lightning Collection, you know the typical range of articulation. We got the ankles, nice double jointed knees. My figure he's not loose, but he's not firm. He's very, I didn't have to like snap it to get it to go, but it holds the poses however I want it very well. So far, I've messed with it a little bit. You can really get him some active poses. Got a nice chest movement and like upper chest swivel. The head can look around. The helmet kind of limits how high you can look down or up, but you can look basically any other way really. You can look really nice up. Can't really look too. Okay, there we go. I just had to crack it there. So you can get some really low poses. You get them like dramatic, just yeah. And then moving in, the paint looks good. I haven't really noticed any bad paint at all. Everything looks really clean. The pearlescent looks real nice on him. The pearlescent silver, which he should be. His wolf emblem on his chest looks really nice. The helmet looks very well done. I think this is a very well done helmet as well. Looking at the pictures of the actual thing, I think this is pretty good. It's not too big, not too skinny like some of the helmet, like that, especially the Tyrannosaurus helmet for the Red Mighty Morphin. There's been a lot of issues with that helmet, just not looking right. But I think for this one, it definitely looks right. The eyes are done nicely. I don't remember if the lining is supposed to be white around the mouth or silver. I know he's silver himself, but there's been a lot of other ones like the Dino Thunder Rangers where it's supposed to be white, but half of them are silver and one of them is going to be white, so they're not going to match. But like Hasbro, why? But I think the outline on these ones is supposed to be white. So, as long as the other ones follow suit, which so far, Max, the Blue Ranger, he looks like he has the white trim, if I recall correctly. So far, at least two out of 2 is correct. So, I'm okay with that. And, of course, he has the 6 stripes. I counted it like 10 times before I left the store to be sure he had the right amount of stripes. But the stripes look good. There's no, like, bad color bleeding or anything. I kind of wish he came with fisted hands, but he comes with 2 holding hands in the box and then the 2 claw hands. I kind of wish it had fisted hands too, just for like a proper punching hand, but I'm pretty sure you could just steal another pair of white gloves from any other Ranger you have, and you probably wouldn't notice, genuinely. If you just want him doing a punch, you could do that. But given he has such a, I'd say a pretty iconic weapon, being the Lunar Q, it's a literal pull Q, but also a gun and sword. And then, of course, there's traditional Wild Force hands. Like, when we have the whole line, I might just line them up doing their claw poses like they do in the show, because 1, everybody does it. 2, it's just what they're known for. It just feels right. As for comparisons with other figures, here's Merrick next to the White Ninja Ranger. Very similar, obviously, height and everything. And then I got another guy right here. We have SH Figure Arts. Goku throwing his Kamehameha on the ground, the Super Saiyan 4. And you can see if I stand him up, they're about the same height. Obviously, Goku's hair goes a bit taller, but they're all on about the same scale. So if you wanted to have them kind of, a square-off match between Goku and a Power Ranger, you could. And it would be no issue. And, of course, I'm going to pick this up real quick while it's here. I'll grab Easy 8 because he's the easiest to grab. And I've really grown to love this figure just because of that. And he also is a good-looking figure. He's posed next to the not the Metal Robot Spirits, the Gundam Universe line Easy 8. I think Merrick's actually a little taller specifically than this suit, but no big deal. And I don't know why you'd be posing a straight up Power Ranger with a mech without a mech, you know. But they don't, unless you build the real big model kits, they don't make one big enough that you could square off like the old Megazords next to the new ones. Well, I mean, I guess it did have those model kits for the Wild Force line, which I have majority of. I'm gonna have all of them, so I can eventually build them. So I guess you could do that. So yeah, there is that. I do want to. That's another. So technically, I have 4 Predazords, but all this the gushing over Wild Force and otherwise aside, it's a really good figure when you pick the right one. If you want to freak out and get every single one, you can. It's just tiring. I don't think it's worth it having all the wrong ones. Granted, they are variants, so if you're like a complete collector, I understand completely. Like, you gotta have all of them, even if they're wrong, because you want the whole collection. I get it. But for me, Wild Force is my favorite, so I just need the proper one. I can't wait. I'm glad that we get the Blue Ranger immediately, and Red is just kind of floating around in limbo, but most likely, hopefully within the next year or so, we should get Red. So his team is already going to be 3 out of 3 if all goes well within the next year. I can't wait. I especially want Mr. Iron Bison, Danny. I love his character. I love that. The Iron Bison holds a special place in my heart because that was the first Wild Force toy I got. Well, I think I had the Crystal Saber too, but that one, the Iron Bison, I found it at a thrift shop, and I kept it all the way with me into adulthood until I finally found most of the other Wild Force Zords at Vintage Stock, minus the shark arm. So I finally gave him his friends. I made him into a Megazord, and then of course that sent me on my rampage of buying every single Wild Force Zord, sans a few, which I will get. So Wild Force does really hold a place in my heart, and having Merrick being the first one, despite his controversies, looking really good when he's finished correctly. All that's missing is a holster, which it's annoying, but I can get over it. I think it's a really good figure. If you can find the correct one or want to track down every single version of him, go ahead and do it. I really recommend it. It was worth the wait, definitely, and he's going to have a place on my shelf for a long time coming, because like I said, he's one of my favorite suits from probably my favorite series. Definitely recommend it. So if you like what you see, leave a like down below and subscribe for more content like this, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and figure reviews sprinkled in between. And I've been the one, Rowland Ryko. Wild Access!